So, how do I say this? I seen
Boy.
you around a lot longer before I actually came on the scene, right? And I always try to be patient and humble because I say it, right? I try to be. And it was just I liked a lot of the stuff that you brought to the community. And I'll be very honest with you, Rojas. There was some times where you were on a panel and I was like, do I want to jump on this panel? Because I don't want to butt heads with Rojas. I would honestly say that to myself before I jumped on a panel because I knew where you stood on Filelinked, right? And I didn't want to have any issues with you. And I said, that's cool. There's so many different ways to do things. I get it, but I don't want to argue with anybody.
Mhm.
And then, like, eventually I was like, you know what? I'm just going to jump on the panel. If people want to talk to me, they can talk to me. I mean, if Rojas wants to ask me questions, then that's cool. And we can, like, go back and forth. But I'm not here to argue with nobody. And I didn't want to step on anybody's toes. Like, I was brand new to the streaming community when all that stuff was going on. When Filelink was new, that's when I joined the scene pretty much.
Mhm.
And you were a part of the community a lot longer, and a lot of these other people were. So I was just around to really soak up what was around me. You know what I mean? Like, you look at all these other YouTubers, like New Tech Evolution was one of the first ones that really had a conversation with me because he was pretty big in the filing stuff as well. I started talking to Electrical MD. And that's how I went around. I would actually go around. I would actually, look at people's filing stores, send them updates, communicate with all these big YouTubers behind the scenes, and I would give them releases before they came out anywhere else just to get my name out there. I'm like, hey, I got this. Do you want it? Sometimes they would shout me out, sometimes they wouldn't, but I just was trying to feel out the community and see what it was all about. You did a lot of work with Special K or Jody or whatever you want to call it. And I didn't really understand that stuff a whole lot. And when I joined the community, it was kind of in that transition where a lot of good APKs were just coming out or coming to their plateau. Like Terrarium was really plateauing at that time when I joined the community, right? There was probably a good 6 months before it shut down. And that's where the application looks like, what Cyberflix looks like what Typhoon looks like. It really came into that next generation of APKs. Because
Mhm.
if you look at the really good APKs before Terrarium, you're looking at what I call the Cartoon HD family, right? You're looking at what do you call it? Movie box. There's like 5 of them that run off all of the same servers as Cartoon HD, but they look a little bit different, but they work really good. But at the same time, they didn't have that flair of a user interface like Terrarium did.
Mhm.
So I was like, do I want to start learning Cody or do I want to take a look at these APKs? And they kind of caught my attention and I ran with them. And then I started, tinkering with the coding and APK editors and like all kinds of stuff. And it was just like, it took me back to when I started learning like QBasic as a kid, right? Because
Mhm.
all the code, like the theory behind all the code, it's all the same. And we didn't really have too many interactions to really say, I don't like this guy or I like this guy.
Mhm.
All I knew is you were passionate about what you were doing. And
Mhm.
I respected that. You know what I mean? I saw your videos. I would see your videos coming out all the time. And no matter what, you've always been consistent on your platforms. At least for me, I wasn't releasing videos like you were. I never was. Even when I did release 5 or 10 videos in a month at one point, it wasn't consistent. And your name was always coming up. No matter which YouTube channel I was watching at the time, there was Rojas.
Mhm.
And it was cool to always see you around. And I didn't really see any drama. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what pulls me in which direction I'm going. I never really wanted to be in any drama and I didn't want to deal with any drama. I was in it for the tech. I was in it for the game. Like I was in it to learn. And once I started seeing drama, I was like, I'm busy over here. But I really thought it was cool when people like yourself would reach out to me and they would ask me questions like that. And it was like, hey, I actually have something people want.